What the hell are you doing, dude? You're going to lose.
Do you really want to see why this actually happened to David Wilcock? Y'all, he's actually dead. I confirmed it myself with police reports, and they're saying that the death was by self-unaliving. Don't comment on this video saying I'm wrong because the mainstream media hasn't reported it yet. Let me start to tell you guys how weird this is and why you should maybe know who it is. So he just did a live stream 2 days ago and was in very great health and very energetic. Then it was 10-11 a.m. that they get a call and they find him and the thing that he used to take his own life. This is where it gets weird. So David Wilcock is known for a lot of different conspiracy type situations. He was on Ancient Aliens years and years ago, even till recently. But when he left Ancient, he was doing seminars by himself and talking about very, very crazy things like Looking Glass and other 3-letter agency activities. He also warned of something in the very near future coming, a great deception, you could say. Now, this information first leaked by people that were close to him, made it to Reddit, and now all sorts of sites, and I was able to find that exact police report. Now, disclaimer, I didn't agree with everything he says, but it's really hard to find someone where you can agree with everything they say. But one thing was sure, the path that he was on was he was going against everything right now that they are putting so much money behind to get us to believe. I mean, he even did this live talking about, is that guy the Antichrist? But look, the biggest thing is he had been in that game. There are probably NDAs that he had, and he started calling out everything for psyops the way that they actually are. With this big push for alien disclosure, it wouldn't surprise me if he came out and said exactly the way things are and what kind of entities are really ruling the earth. Miraculous sleep, feeling great, energized to self-unaliving? I don't buy it, do you? Wait till you see what else I have found having to do with David Wilcock. Do you know that on his stream, he just found out live that his biographer died as well? You know his close friends are coming out, like this female that said, I've known him for this long, he would never ever do anything like this. Did you also know that he actually put up this tweet a little while back and said, I would never do anything to myself? We have all these UFO researchers and nuclear scientists, all this disappearance. I just got so much to show you. Let's start with the light stuff. Right here we see that David Wilcock just finds out his biographer died, literally in the middle of his live stream. Let's watch.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's sad to hear Winfrey just passed away. Bright butterfly wing, that is so weird. Because last night, I was lying in bed and thinking, wouldn't it be sad if Winfrey passed away? He's the guy that wrote the Reincarnation of Beggar Casey book.
All right, now let's kick it up a notch. The really crazy stuff is still coming. Right here we say that David Wilcock was just talking about all the crazy disappearing happening lately. And I'm about to show you a girl who brings up the disappearances before she disappeared herself.
Every day that I have on earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that. Because frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on.
The craziest stuff is almost here. But first, my buddy Minutes of Horror dug up this clip of this one researcher who disappeared, but she was actually asked before she disappeared about, disappearing scientists.
Giving a presentation, she's asked about disappearing.
What about the innovator who's afraid of disappearing?
That's a whole other problem. I think doing it in the public is better in that case. That's a different...
It doesn't mean you won't disappear. Even if you do it in the public, it still don't mean that the inventor won't disappear.
Can't make it up. Finally, do you remember the Lockheed Martin insider video that I did when I told you that what he was saying was that we would see all these crazy events take over America and it would start with fires being everywhere. And eventually, there'd be a great human harvest because allegedly, for entertainment, not true, the government has a deal with these benevolent spiritual beings. And this is still the very tip of the iceberg. By the way, make sure you come see me on YT to say things I can't say here about this exact subject.
What the hell are you doing, dude? You're going to lose.
Do you really want to see why this actually happened to David Wilcock? I'm about to show you his video in tears. Remember in my first video, I told you guys he was on the verge of discovering something big. Not just that, he knew things that were big. I'll explain it as we go.
It's to God. This is true, folks. You need to stop this shit. Some things I don't mind talking about. I don't like talking about this. What the hell are you doing, dude? You're going to lose. You're not going to win. It's inevitable. We already know because the future timeline is fixed. This particular timeline that we're on leads to your defeat. There is no getting around that. You are not being in integrity, but you don't care. But if you don't do this, we are screwed, man. You think this is all natural? You think nobody's coordinating any of this stuff? You think I want to talk about this? You think I want to be up here on the camera talking about this?
So what exactly is he talking about? I'll tell you. He has ins with a bunch of intelligent assets and companies, and he knows, based on Project Looking Glass, that the future had 2 routes and we avoided 1 route in 2012. It's very real. It's like the chronovisor in the Vatican that can show things that happened in the past. Yes, that's real too. It gets even crazier. Just hold on. He's wrong about one part and it hurts my heart. And that is that we will win in the end, not physically, not in the flesh, but spiritually, that Jesus already won. But not believing in Jesus, what he sees is the destruction of humanity, therefore he thinks it's the end. He knows the contract the government has with these benevolent beings of spiritual wickedness in high places. That, and what I just told you, is why. Did you know that David Wilcock is what the intelligence assets called a person of interest? What if I told you they were putting him under hypnosis the entire time he was a child? It's so easy for us to say, this person's evil, they're controlled, this and that. Not understanding they're in a very delicate, very adverse situation where they have these extremely benevolent societies that are controlling their actions even as children.
Why was I waking up under hypnosis? Why was I walking out the door of my house in the middle of the night, hundreds of times as a child, and I couldn't remember where I was going? And at the end of the thing, they just make me walk back to where I was, and then the memory is lost. And I don't remember what happened, but now I do. Now I do.
David Wilcock was a targeted person. He was tormented since his youth. He was recruited, started seeing a truth that whatever he was working for is benevolent. The whole story will be on YT. Does the assassination attempt that just happened to the president, does that have to do with David Wilcock? So if you're paying attention, you've noticed his really odd push to time travel and things having to do with that. Of course, with this account named Henry Martinez putting one post up saying Cole Allen, and Henry Martinez was a NASA paper that he wrote. Yeah, he worked for NASA, he wrote a paper, Henry Martinez. The Henry Martinez account said his name years ago. We'll get to David in 1 second. And then you go back to the Henry Martinez account, you see this picture, which is actually called Time Machine with a reverse image search. And maybe not, who knows? I mean, it could be anything that people are saying it looks a lot like, you know, that Butler image from the president and all that stuff going down. And people are even saying that Cole Allen almost looks like a baby that these two had. And of course, the time travel angle, right? Let me tell you guys a little bit about energy harvesting, or what some people call illusion. You manipulate the emotions in such a great way that they're basically able to drain your energy and put it into something else. Now you have all these accounts calling for the DC ballroom, Baal room. So we have the Baal room, the Baal room, the ballroom. We also have that image of the arch they want to put, which is Apollo's arch. We also have the AI image of the president, adding that thing to the top, which is Apollo. Remember this?
You're going to lose. You're not going to win. It's inevitable. We already know because the future timeline is fixed.
One of his biggest areas of study was time travel. Project Looking Glass, to look into the future. But I'll put it this way, there's a group of people writing out scenarios and events and they just seem to happen every single time. But time travel is real. Humans are the only spiritual creatures bound to time. God outside of time. Jesus slain from the foundation of the earth outside of time. The adventures of Baron Trump, the last president, on and on. So the question is, how are y'all enjoying the movie? And is it possible that Satan and his angels are looking into the future and telling people what to write? And I do want to mention one thing like I did last time. We are not going to lose. In the flesh, the world, yeah, it's screwed. In the spirit, we know the one who already won. You know how David was, a target individual? No, completely not, right? There's no way. Special guest on YT in about 1 hour. Allegedly found the body of Jesus? You guys have no idea how deep this goes, but I'm about to expose their whole plan. We are about to step into the great deception of our era and our time, because this actually allegedly goes back a few decades. So Jesus Christ's body found in a hidden chamber, claims expert? So fact check, hear me. The Express for the UK and the Daily Star are both alleging the same exact thing that may be discovered here shortly under this thing behind me. Now this gets very wild right here. There's people that allegedly took part in Project Looking Glass. And these people, some of these people are actually on record, on video, saying that a great deception's coming where these new great finds are going to happen and it's going to shake up religion altogether. And all of a sudden, people are not going to believe in their religion no more. Sounds like a deception. What's this behind me? This is the movie 13 Ghosts. What is this contraption right here? You got it. That's how the Looking Glass machinery allegedly looks. You can find detailed blueprints and other stuff online. Project Looking Glass, Operation Looking Glass was allegedly, people in the US trying to look into the future by creating crazy machinery. But this gets insane because remember how this looks, right? A whole bunch of disc wheels spinning within each other, much like the Angel, I believe it's a Orifim, and much like that right behind me. Is it possible that Project Looking Glass was actually trying to play off things that we do for inventions when we look at animals and other type of subjects? Taking the Orifim and designing it the way it'd be to somehow tap into time itself? Because somehow they did it, somehow they're able to tell the future, somehow the movies showed the exact same thing. Many more movies, by the way. And right before this massive allegation comes out, we have this coming out with this. You better keep your eyes open. And if you don't really know the Bible, yeah, you're gonna be deceived. Guaranteed.
You're right, those exist, but we can't disclose that. I said, why? It's not an operational ET device. It's not, it's old. He says, yes, but you don't understand how powerful this information is. I said, why? He says, if this was disclosed, it would collapse the fundamentalist orthodox belief systems of every religion on earth.